Ah.
There we go. Now we're back.
Excellent.
They're still singing that song.
They are, and it's quite a rousing little ditty.
Yeah. So we can recruit crew from taverns from that guy. The taverns also have other games that we can play. Like this one. Fanarona.
Fanarona.
It's weird. It's kind of like checkers, but a bit more tactical.
Do you have a knack for your Fanarona?
I don't. I am terrible at all the games in this game. All the little mini games. I mentioned checkers because you can also play checkers in this game.
Mm-hmm.
Go big or go home. So, the way this game works is you move your piece along the lines, either toward or away from enemy pieces. And if you do that, then you can capture all the pieces in that continuing line. You can also chain moves together, so you can kind of get an idea of how it works. Yeah. It sounds really complicated, but it's really simple once you actually get to play it, and the game kind of holds your hand. Because you have to move in a fashion that you're attacking, as it were.
Interesting. This is a real game, I assume?
I believe it is like an actual game they played back in this era. I would assume so, because it would seem only appropriate. And this is where I get wrecked.
Jeez. Holy hell.
Yeah. You can lose a lot of your pieces pretty quickly in this game, but I managed to hold out this long, at least. And I thought I might have had an advantage. I was keeping myself in a decent position. I thought, okay, if I can just lure his pieces out one by one, then I can capture them. But then I made a stupid move, and that was the end of that.
So would you have taken his piece if you had moved up and towards his
yes,
piece?
if you move toward his pieces, you capture them, or if you're adjacent to them and you move away from them.
Oh, interesting. Huh.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's a fun game. I quite enjoy that one. There's another one in this game that I enjoy playing a lot, but I'm still not very good at it.
Cool stuff.
Very simplistic games, but quite fun.
Yeah.
We have to take a cat break to pet this cat who phases
right
through my
your
sword.
Jeez. Self-cutting cat.
Yeah. Alright, we're done. We're done with having fun. Now it's time to go hang out with our friends on the beach. Beach party.
That sounds like such a drag.
Yeah.
Morning, Kenway. Not a bad-looking tinderbox you got there.
You sound a bit green, Horny Gold. Is it envy? Because mine's bigger than yours.
No, I reckon it's this Jamaican funk. I prefer the Spanish stuff. So, you've got yourself a fancy brig now. Fine. Well, I'm gonna teach you how to sail a right.
Was that a
How to
drug
take a
joke?
prize, the prop.
I'm pretty sure it was.
Huh.
Thatch, we'll catch you up at the old fishing village.
It's like they're breaking the fourth wall here or something.
Well, I mean, Lord of the Rings talked about pipeweed all the time.
It's true. It's true.
And I'm, it's not really that ahistorical, I'm pretty sure.
No, certainly not.
And I don't know if they're actually talking about, like, marijuana or if they're talking about just tobacco.
Right.
So.
Where's your helmsman, Kenway?
The explicit Jamaican reference, though, makes me wonder.
Yeah, it's probably a
Let's make
drug
some
reference.
headway, shall we?
I've no need for schooling. How many prizes did we take together as privateers?
So now we've got Hornigold
There's a chasm of
hanging out
difference
on our ship.
between joining a raid and captaining one. We're looking out for merchants, boys. Them that's fat with cargo. Find us a schooner with that spyglass, Kenway. You'll get yourself a glimpse of what sort of cargo they're shipping and a general idea of their toughness. Take out your
Spyglass, I
Kenway.
get it.
Schooners are too small to peep with a naked eye.
Have you like
There's a prize worth
how good are you at classifying like what types of ships? Like what's a schooner or what's a
Like
galley?
in real life.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess I'm assuming it's pretty historically accurate in the game as well.
More or less, yeah. I'm basically not good at it at all.
Okay.
Because it's not as easy as it would seem. Because the game kind of makes it seem like, oh, this is a schooner, this is a brig, this is a man of war kind of thing. But it's not that simple.
Fire what cannons you will, and land a few strikes if you must. But
I
for
imagine
God's sake, don't
this is before the days
no
when
fun
you know,
fishing
you had like
cargo
a,
out of the
a ship
sea.
factory.
Yeah.
Although it
A lot
can
of the
be done.
ships in this game are actually like later 17th century. The bigger ships especially. Like the big man of war ships didn't get used at all until like the mid 17th century.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Most ships were small on the smaller side to begin with. Once the Navy started beefing themselves up, they built the really giant ships.
So would it have been rare to find like just one ship on its own then? If they were they usually convoys?
It probably wasn't that uncommon. Usually, well, I know like the Spanish, they used a convoy system when they were sailing from Europe to the Caribbean. But it was probably still common to find like single merchant ships and stuff sailing around.
I
love this cutscene.
I am Captain Hornigold, and this is my crew. We're sailors like yourselves, but quite unalike in our purpose. For we intend to take all that you own. Yet no harm shall befall any man so long as he remains at ease. Is that clear?
No me mate, señor. Tengo familia. Se lo suplico.
Anyone speak English? Inglés.
I like that guy just walking by with the crate of...
He's that committed man.
He is.
He makes a good sailor.
Nobody if everyone stays as still as a sandbar. You got that?
Please to repeat.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Lock him in the hold and take everything that isn't
Edward
nailed
doesn't even
down.
have a single line in this cutscene, but it's
It's
is
all in his
perfect.
face.
yeah.
Music's spot on too.
It is. We got some loot, some wood, and some sugar. Can't really do much with captured ships at this point. Just repair. Just
It's a
repairs.
shaky feeling sailing about with this much stolen cargo.
Get used to it. We'll need to take a few more prizes to make this a profitable day.
There's a lot of ships.
Yeah, there's quite a few ships just hanging about. Yeah, while you're sailing, your crew is pretty eager to sing. You get pretty used to hearing these songs.
I forget. Is there a morale system?
Not really, no. You have like a number of crew members, and if you run out, I think you just get like a game over or something. But it's really hard to actually run out of crew. It's never happened to me.
It just like slows down like your refire rate and your speed and stuff, or does it affect it at all?
I don't know if it actually affects that stuff.
Really?
It should, by any and all rights, but I don't know if it actually does.
Coming after us, sir. Schooner. Spaniards. Just along the...
Yep. Schooners are pretty weak. They're pretty easy prey,
Ready to fire,
even
sir.
for us in this early stage.
Mains out. Let's go. No quarter. Pack them all to bed. Have a news. Hold on. We'll be the death of you.
But yeah, as soon as you start shooting at someone, your crew will shut up. They will stop singing and actually get to work.
Killing time.
There is actually an option to turn off the crew singing as well, if you just can't take it anymore.
If you're a lifeless, you know, heartless
Yeah.
slave driver.
So you only get a limited number of shots with these swivel cannons. I think you get 5. And then it just runs out of ammunition or something. It's a bit strange, but when you're fighting these smaller ships, your only objective is to kill 5 sailors. And you can actually, if you kill 5 sailors with the swivel cannons, then you don't even have to board the ship.
That was always my goal.
You just get straight to this screen, and it's so much easier.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong, the whole boarding thing is cool, but, you know, when you do it...
It does get
100
kind of
times.
tedious, especially the bigger ships,
Good
Yeah.
take
because they
today,
give you
Kenway.
other objectives too.
Half a dozen scores of that size and you'll be set for a year. Now let's sell this cargo and fix up your jackdaw with a few
No,
more
we got what we
trinkets.
needed.
Sod a year.
This little gunboat has decided to
Yeah.
follow us home,
King of
though.
the West Indies, then.
We came to Nassau to get away from the life.
I thought for sure that throwing those fire barrels at him would get him off our tail, but it
Jesus, let
turns
that
out that
dream
gunboats
come
are actually pretty quick.
Nassau is the place to
They're
be.
one
Is it
of
still
the few-
following you?
Yeah, he follows me all the way back to the cove.
A ship so full of gold and silver, you just
They're one of the few ships.
Sure,
I
but
think
it's only a dream.
I think gunboats
Every
are the
man hopes
only
to find a
ship
dozen
that are
chests of
actually
gold
fast
with
enough
no
to keep up with
owners.
you.
They're as rare as an honest king.
Pretty sure he keeps up with us the entire way. Yeah, he does. Because, yeah, I ended up getting to the cove here, and I'm thinking, you know, I'll just go ahead and dock and
Ease off the wind.
do what I need to do.
Furl the mizzen tops.
Or maybe I'm thinking of... I might be thinking of something else. I think I am. There is one point in this video where a little gunboat, like, follows me home, and I have to kill him before I can progress. I thought it was him, but I guess not.
Maybe it is him and he just doesn't come till later.
Maybe.
But he's determined.
Reappears later in the video.
Little gunboat that could.
Yeah. So this is a new island that we haven't been to yet. We aren't really going to be doing much here right now. Other than buying some upgrades for our ship. There are a lot of upgrades for the ship.
Are certain places cheaper than others, or is it all standard?
No, it's all uniform. Uniform prices, uniform costs of everything. It would be kind of neat if there was like fluctuating prices. So yeah. You can buy upgrades for your ship. The upgrades are just strict improvements for your ship. You pretty much want to collect all of those over the
Not a
course of
bad
the game.
take today. Keep this up and
And
Nassau
there's
will be the first
appearance
city where
upgrades
men
as
and
well,
women may live as
which
God
are just
made.
cosmetic.
Easy and free. All it takes is a few
Oh yeah, you
drops
can do
of
like
blood,
the
sweat, and a
not
swatch of cloth.
what are they called? Not figureheads. The things at the front of the ship.
Praise the lack of
Yeah, those are...
signal nothing. But
Yeah,
your
those are
allegiance to
figureheads,
man's
I think.
natural freedoms.
Yeah, they are.
This one's yours. Fly it proud.
I will.
A hand over the docket, I lend you.
Yeah, this is what I was talking about.
We're to keep our republic
this,
afloat.
like,
We'll need guns. as
tropical
well as
storm
That means
rolls in,
Oh.
and
gold.
everyone
So
is
long as
just
that
carrying
foreign
on
frigates
casual
colours will not
conversation.
offend our own monarch.
Well, business has to get done.
I guess. It's what's really weirding me out about the storm, however, is that it
As
continues.
you've likely
Like,
seen,
this video will end before this storm is finished.
Really?
Yeah. It's very weird. I've never seen a storm last this long in game.
so
I'm
to
almost
further
certain that
need
it's not
out of
scripted to be this way.
it's best to cause a bit of mischief.
Catch a few small fish to attract the big ones.
Yes, it has to explain my spyglass yet again.
Because the tutorial wasn't enough.
The spyglass is not that complicated of a tool. It's pretty straightforward.
Are you ready for this, Kenway? She won't go down without an honest fight.
Who's up for taking that brig, lads? Shout out!
Oi!
That's
Oi.
the sound I like to hear. Pipe to quarters.
I do like fighting other ships in storms, though.
Around the navy.
It's very
Very
dramatic.
exciting.
Ram you as far a broadside.
It also makes it more fun just because there's like big waves and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
which actually can affect your firing arc.
That's true. It can be annoying if I remember correctly.
It can be, but it can also be very beneficial. So, I guess I should mention there is actually some more detailed combat mechanics. Ships will take more damage if you shoot at them, like if you shoot at the rear of their ship, basically. Like if you shoot straight at their rear, going across the whole ship, kind of thing. They will take more damage from that. It's not much more, but
So like right now, if you
yeah,
were to
like
fire
if I were to fire at them right then, they would take a little bit more damage, which is actually a legitimate naval strategy back in those days. That was the ideal firing angle, was getting behind them and firing across them like that.
Interesting.
Because obviously you don't want to be, beside them, because then you're getting fired upon as well. In this game, that's not that big of a deal, but back then that was a pretty big deal, because ships often did not survive encounters very intact.
Right. Yeah, I always thought it was a little too liberal with how often a ship would be willing to ram you.
Yeah. Yeah, these brigs are especially ram happy,
Yeah.
which makes them kind of dangerous. But the fire barrels are pretty good at deterring them.
Nice.
But yeah, I read a statistic a while back about naval ships, and I think it was something like, in most naval combat encounters, a third of the ships actually survived intact.
God.
Yeah, it's insane. And I mean, couple that with the fact of how many ships were around in that era, gives you an idea of how much shipbuilding must have been going on.
Yeah, seriously.
Like, it's just insane when you think about it that way.
That's incredible.
These things were not disposable
No.
vessels, but they were
Treated like it.
they were kind of treated like it. Yeah.
It's incredible.
It's very fascinating.
Give 'em a taste of British steel.
Yeah, like I mentioned, the bigger ships that you fight, the more objectives you get for boarding. For a brig, you only have to kill 10 crew members, which is a lot harder to do with the swivel cannon, but it still can be done. I've done
Do you
it
have
before.
more? Oh, no, you don't have any more.
You don't have
slots.
more ammo, but
Damn.
there are usually explosive barrels, like gunpowder, on the ships, and they are quite useful. Also, I shot that guy twice and he still didn't die. Oh, he was a heavy, that's why. Brute.
Brute that.
There we go. So it is possible to assassinate someone from like a swinging rope.
Like a air assassination?
Yeah,
or-
you like leap off the rope and assassinate someone from it. But I don't know what the timing is for it. I've only been able to do it a couple times. It also usually doesn't work when you're boarding a ship because they can see you and they just throw you off. So it's very situational. We got 68 out of 70 metal. We need 2 more.
So close.
Yep.
And again, your crew is so committed. Like, this is all in the same storm. They repaired the ship. They
Yep.
sunk another ship.
Yep. Sank another one. Yeah, it's pretty impressive. And then we fought another brig. And we will board and capture this brig as well. Very dedicated men. That was a very good grappling hook toss as well.
Yes, very.
That was like 60 feet at least.
Your men, I tell you.
That was very, very impressive.
Your shooting, on the other hand.
Yeah, the shooting in this segment not so great. Usually I can get like more than half the crew killed from that, but in that case, no. I did shoot that guy though. So that makes
it is
sense.
tough. It always annoyed me though, because like there were some days I would just like naval combat, sure, but like just having to go and engage them melee was
you don't want to deal with this, yeah.
Yeah.
Especially like I'm surrounded by 3 brutes, and I'm like I don't want to deal with this, so I'm just gonna shoot that guy in the shin. And we're done with this, and they all immediately surrender.
Right. Really, your crew and the enemy crew were just very rational human beings.
Yeah.
I think it's time to lay low and bribe our way back into secrecy.
Agreed. So, how do we get rid of this notoriety we've stirred up?
Honey, my boy. A well-placed bribe to the right government
So,
official.
we've stirred up some trouble. We've got the wanted meter above our health meter, the little
Smart thinking.
crossed swords that are red. The more ships that you pirate and plunder, the more it fills up. And then once it's full, a brig full of pirate hunters will come after you. And they will they'll chase you and try and sink you and blah blah blah.
And
but they are much slower than we are, so we can outrun them really easily. This gunboat, on the other hand, that's the gunboat I was talking about.
Oh my gosh!
Followed me all the way back to port, and prevented me from docking.
Maybe they just wanted to parley with you.
I don't think he did.
Now the bounty is, like irrespective of a particular country, right? It builds up.
It's just in general, and it's not even like the a particular nation is sending pirate hunters after you. It's just basically they're pirate hunters. They're just basically bounty hunters.
Yeah.
They have no allegiance. Their ships have red flags. That's about it. Or red sails, I should say.
Thanks. Consider yourself absolved of all sin.
And if we talk to one of those guys, he gets rid of all of our notoriety. So pirate hunters will stop attacking us. The more... your notoriety will fill up over time, and the more of those little red swords that you get, they will send bigger ships after you. If you have 1, then they send brigs. If you have 2, I think they send a frigate after you. But I'm not sure about that. It's actually really hard. Like, you have to deliberately keep your notoriety that high just to see that stuff, which is kind of dumb on its own right. But.
Well, there's some... in what circumstances might you want there to be a bounty on you? Like, if you're like, fishing for materials?
Basically, kind of, but you can also just find ships out in the wild very often, so... there's really no reason why you would want to have that notoriety. Anyway, there's a ton of stuff that you can customize your ship with. Lots of cosmetic appearances that you can change. Again, I will be letting people vote on what they want to see. I've got some stuff unlocked already, some stuff I have to buy, some things I haven't unlocked yet. Surprisingly hard to get. But, yeah.
Oh, I vote for Altair's.
I like the Altair figure
really cool.
Quite a bit, yeah. I enjoyed the crimson sails too. I used those for a long time. But I'll cycle through as many as I can. And every time you upgrade your ship, it's got to go through this little upgrade cutscene.
Just to remind you, you're in the Animus.
Yeah,
In case you started to think this was a pirate game.
yeah, exactly.
You're a wonder, Kenway. You've a knack for this kind of work.
It ain't work if you love it.
Sarge.
But I ain't doing this forever, lads. Only until I get enough coin to buy some land and influence back home.
Jesus, will you listen to your tripe?
This cutscene is probably
Still
the most
dreaming
awkward.
on about that strumpet back in
with
England
the
when you could
rain.
have anything
Yeah,
you wanted here and
that is
now.
true. It's more a
Six
little more
lofty goals
egregious
for you
here.
gents. And here I thought I was in the company of scoundrels.
Changes the tone of the cutscene quite a bit.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Fine purchase today. What's the crew's mood?
All smiles
Wet.
and no teeth. And
yeah,
there's a few talking about meeting with Master Kid to steal from a nearby plantation.
Plantation. That's ambitious.
Profitable too, if we can manage it.
I mean, you did just sink 4 ships.
Yeah.
It's a good idea.
Oh, the one thing that's nice is check out this freeze frame.
Oh! You have pleased Thor.
That's the one thing that makes me think it might have been scripted, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't.
No,
And so I'm pretty pleased with that.
It's an accomplishment all your own.